All right, everyone. Another general, an Air Force general, actually, in Venezuela is now apparently defected in spirit, at least, and is calling on people to rise up and oust Maduro. The more upper level military commanders do this, the more likely it is that something actually happens. What you're likely to see is, over the course of the immediate future, you'll see more defections, you'll see more clashes, protesters will be killed, socialists will be hanged out in an alley and stuff. People will fight, and there will be more chaos in Venezuela. At some point, you achieve a tipping point in which Maduro probably just gets wasted in the middle of the night, and then all of a sudden you wake up in the morning with Guaido leading things. That's maybe the most likely outcome. Now, I oppose any direct U.S. military involvement in Venezuela. I support the idea of sanctions, but that's because the economy starts flatlining. Maduro's fighting his own people for years. Without U.S. sanctions, things were already falling apart. This is to try to help tip him out of power. I don't have a problem with that because his regime became illegitimate the moment he started killing his own people on a fairly large scale, activating their state socialist militias to abuse people. And we don't have an economy. It's like, what's the point of not having an overthrow of Maduro, bloody and messy as though it may become, when it's already a bloody, messy situation that's been going on for 3 fucking years? So socialism has failed in other people. Hopefully they'll eventually kick Guaido out too. He'll be interim, and then they'll bring in capitalists and actually have a functioning economy for the first time in half a decade. That would be nice, but that's might be pie in the sky thinking there. But here's an idea. Instead of U.S. involvement, because I oppose military involvement, I happen to strongly believe in the right of all people in the world to keep and bear arms. Why don't we just airdrop 1 million care packages of weapons and ammo on the country? We've got so many factories full of antiquated military equipment that by the standards down there are perfectly acceptable, like last generation armor, older style RPGs and stuff like that, guns that are, no longer particularly used. We got stockpiles like you wouldn't believe. It wouldn't even cost that much, dude. Seriously, to give them 1 million care packages, how much would it cost? Overall, a couple billion or something, in order to bring peace and stability to another Latin American state that just happens to be on a fucking ocean of oil. A state that then we could normalize relations with. It could improve itself. It would help the entire hemisphere. I would think that sort of investment would be a good thing. And let the people decide. Look, if they decide to kill off Guaido and side with Maduro, let them do that too. At least they'll be armed. One of the first things Maduro began doing before these latest purges was taking people's private firearms away. I think specifically taking the bullets away, which some Democrats have said they should do here. It's like, well, the Second Amendment says the right to keep and bear arms. But it doesn't mention bullets. And it's like, you're not understanding 1700s linguistics, but, I don't expect them to. Or they ignore it because they're being willfully ignorant in order to push their stupid agenda. That's why we must resist all gun control here and strip back that which already exists. We need to hyper-deregulate our society as much as possible. Oh, it'd be so great. Yes, I do want to be able to sit in my backyard with a crate of hand grenades and toss them around. Yeah, I think that should be perfectly acceptable. And if I blow myself up, then take me out of the gene pool. I guess I deserve it. One less problem in the world, isn't it? No, that's what we should do. We have, planes that are capable of flying, so to speak, above their ability to fire. I don't think that he has the anti-air capabilities to stop us from flying, running roughshod over the country in an aeronautic sense. Why don't we just do that? Airdrop a bunch of weapons all over the country, and not just like in Caracas or something, but all of them in little towns and shit. We'll drop them little care packages. And maybe some bigger ones too. Maybe a tank lands here or there. Wouldn't that be cool? Fuel and everything. Yeah, I mean, we're already giving them aid in the medical sense and food packages and stuff like that. Can you airdrop some MREs in my backyard, Uncle Sam? Why don't you? I want them to fly over with a helicopter and drop me a couple of crates of rations, because then I can eat them on camera. That'd be pretty great. Then they give me the ones that are like 20 years old and technically only kind of edible anymore. Give me some Venezuelan military rations. Oh, wait, I don't want to eat dirt, basically. I don't mean to insult anyone from Venezuela, but your country's being fucked up by socialism. It's a non-functioning state. How is it functional at all outside of a few gated communities where Maduro maintains high approval because he gives people free shit? Yeah, I'm sure. If you have electricity 7 days a week and your plumbing works and your water is kind of clean and you only got cholera once in the last 2 years, yeah, your likelihood of approving of Maduro is higher. Especially if you sit in that urban gated community, work there too, and you never really see the outside world. I'm sure that there are plenty of intellectuals in Venezuela who literally don't have a fucking clue what's going on outside. Beyond seeing some rabble-rousing, what they see is rabble-rousing crowds burning a local business and getting righteously beaten off by Maduro's benevolent security forces. That's what they see from the inside looking out. How sad. So the Venezuelan people deserve more, and I'm only half joking when I say that we should drop the military aid. U.S. military shouldn't go into the country under any circumstances, but arming people within the country so they can defend themselves against a regime we already recognize as illegitimate, where's the problem here? Yeah, we should give people weapons. Giving weapons are cool. Guns are awesome. What's the problem with that? So if they take up arms and they throw off Maduro and stuff, you know, that's a great thing. What if they don't? Well, at least they've got their right to keep and bear arms back. Where's the problem here? Anyone going to raise a moral objection, as opposed to Rick Scott's idea, which is we should march in there and get rid of Maduro. This is going to become a problem. And then I saw separate reports. This was almost unconscionably stupid. This was the most ignorant thing I've ever seen. The Florida GOP is weighing in. They're saying, well, this could become a problem because Trump's involvement. What if we fail and Maduro clings to power? It could become a problem for the Florida GOP. Fuck the Florida GOP. The most corrupt element of the GOP in the country, the one that's such dead fucking weight on the Republican Party that it keeps people like me from even entertaining the idea of registering with an R after a name. People like Rick Scott, fuck him in the ass. Rick Warmonger Scott. Hey guys, yeah, Trump's approval is just beginning to rise, but I'm a total MAGA person here. Hey Trump, why don't you invade them? Why don't you start a war and kill 100,000 people? That'll be really good for your re-election bid, says Rick Scott as he chuckles nervously, hopes that it doesn't pan out. The Democrats win and he can run in 2024 or something. That's probably what he's hoping for. Fucking Rhino Con opportunist. I have nothing but contempt for him. He should be kicked out. You should recall him down in Florida. You should get rid of Rick. Who cares if there's a Democrat in there? He's going to start a war anyway. No, I think that we should take a less direct form of involvement. Airdrop lots and lots of guns in the country and lots of ammo along with them. You know, some of those guns that citizen. Why don't we just get the Armalite or something? Just make more guns. Or we could partner with Taurus. They're a Brazilian company, I believe. They make decent weapons. Fucking just make more weapons. We'll pay for them. Drop them a bunch of ammo and some revolvers and shit. It's better than what they're fighting with now. Hell, I'd much rather have that fucking 22 is better than attacking someone with a stick, especially if it's Maduro's people. They're not exactly using fully modern equipment. Their crowd control there looks like it dates to the 1960s or something. It looks like the Democratic Convention there that the hippies were protesting at. And the protesters are similarly armed. It's basically, hey, wrap yourself up with whatever you got. Yeah, that's a good way to get involved without firing a shot. Let the Venezuelan people decide, but right now they're fighting a lopsided struggle. If you want to support them, sending in U.S. troops is the worst thing you can do. Now, what'll happen is half the protesters will join with Maduro again and they'll attack our troops. And then when we inevitably have to occupy the nation, our troops will be under threat for years to come. And the oil fields will burn, just like they did in fucking, in southern Iraq and everything else. Be a free-for-all, and hundreds of thousands of people will die, and once again we'll get mud on our face. And we'll look terrible around the world, and we'll have done something stupid. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. That's about all. Peace out.